cool, like I'm gonna go do my version of art. 'Cause that's another
Yeah.
thing too, going back to the creators of the new athletes, like each and every one of us, the way that we're living our life, if you truly break it down, is our artistic expression.
Yes.
Right. That's
Whether or
true.
not you think you're an artist or not, how you parent, how you show up, how you work out, like that's
Man, that
all
part.
expression.
So true.
I'm just like doing all of these things because like these are where my values are right now. So I think you can't have a roadmap if you have no idea where you're going.
Welcome back to Hot Tea with Uma and Bri, where we spill the truth on what it really takes to build a bold, balanced, and impactful career in wellness. Today's guest is someone who's shifting the game, literally. Dezi Abeyta is a registered dietitian, performance strategist, and the founder of Food Talk Nutrition. He fuels the artists and athletes who run the world, writes for Men's Health magazine, and hosts the Can't Believe I Made It podcast, where he unpacks what success really looks like. Dezi isn't just talking nutrition, he's talking culture, storytelling, food justice, and creative freedom. If you've ever wondered how to create your own lane as a health pro or how to fuse your passions into a powerful brand, this episode is for you. Let's get to the tea with Dezi Abeyta.
Come on, intro.
Dezi's in
that was
the
a great intro.
house.
That was fantastic.
That was
Thank you,
fantastic.
guys.
That was elite, especially the editing of what's about to happen. I do hope your editor keeps in a lot of the missteps.
Kevin! We will let him
Kevin.
know.
Kevin.
We'll let him know.
I've
Kevin.
dropped his name a couple times.
Leave them,
Yeah.
Kevin, leave them in. All right.
Oh, sure.
Oh, this is great. You guys, listeners, y'all, there's so much that you guys missed before this episode even started recording. So just know, prepare yourself for just like ultimate realness. You guys know we're normally very real and raw on this podcast, but it will be even more so today. So Dezi, let's get this started. Before you became who you are now, like who was Dezi, right? Before all this, before your current persona and lifestyle and career, who were you?
Damn. Why you gotta hit me with a heavy hitter right away?
You know,
Generally
'Cause you're the
people like
man.
have a really good elevator pitch. I don't have that. So you're just gonna get how I'm gonna answer this. All right. I have always felt like, and this is gonna sound super hyperbolic and cliche, but I don't really give a fuck because that's just me. I've always felt like a pull for creativity. And even as I was growing up, like my mom, gave her a shout out at the beginning. I hope it makes the cut. Shout out to Stephanie Abeyta. Like my mom was an English teacher, and she used to hype me up bad on my writing. Like Mijo, I love what you're doing here. Like I love your voice. The way that you write is one of my favorite ways to read. Things like that. And she's also someone who had explored finding some education around her own dyslexia in adulthood. So like I kind of feel like my writing was a part of her growth and now what she's doing in molding minds and writing and things like that. So I had always been gassed up by my mom on my writing. And so I've always felt a pull to be creative. To be honest, I did not think that I would be a dietitian, like straight up. I think when I was going through high school and even through college, like 1000%, I was like, I'm going to be a pediatrician. Got into college, got into basic chem, got my C, and I was like, I'm not getting into med school with this. So it just so happened at the University of Arizona that our pre-med program was also public health and nutrition. And so like I don't want to say I fell into it. I tripped into it because, like I said, med school just wasn't going to be in the cards for me because I was a C student just from the day that I first stepped on the scene until I left. So I was like, all right, I fell into it and I absolutely fell in love with it because to me, it gave me language and verbiage around what I had always seen, which was culture and food and the combination of the two. Because I mean, I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We moved to Arizona in the middle of my eighth grade year. So I had been around the Southwest and the Mexican culture and the food culture for my whole life. And for me, being able to understand the value of cultural foods, the value of making sure that health professionals look like their communities.
Hmm.
Like I had always felt to myself that like that was a really big plus for me, and I never had verbiage or language with like what that actually meant. And so if you're asking me like who I was before I became who I am, like I think what I've been doing my whole life is trying to figure out who I am and having a lot of fun in it. And
Mhm.
like, to be honest, like I'm still doing that shit to this day. Like I'm still
Mhm.
trying to find out what I want to do when I grow up. Like that's just being real. So all the baby dietitians that are out listening, like it's cool if you have no idea what the fuck you want to do, because like I'm still trying to figure that piece out.
I know that's right, for real.
Mhm.
That's truly the beauty of this profession, though, right? Is that you can pivot. I mean, you can still figure it out as you go. With that being said, like, what sparked your interest specifically in wellness and performance?
I've told this story to Bree because I mean I don't know if y'all have ever met Bree in person, but she's a hooper. She's tall.
Very.
I think you played the three, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So she played the three, so she's tall. So I remember the first time I met Bree, like I don't know what I thought, but when I saw it, I was like, damn.
How'd you get
this
here?
is why this is why there's elite level athletes and there's people like myself who like I'm 5'6". My wife called me out the other day. She's like, "You're not," because I've been saying I'm 5'6 3/4" for quite some time.
Not 3/4.
Oh gosh.
And so my wife is 5'9". So like she was like, "You're not, you've shrunk since we first met." And I was like, "Let's go to Rory's freaking growth chart and let's look at it." And she measured me and she's like, "Des, you're 5'6". So
Flat. Like, don't add
yeah,
any
just
extra.
flat. No, you no longer get 3/4 of an inch. Like
Yeah.
you are
Yes.
just 5'6" flat. I say all of that because for me, like I legit thought being a kid growing up that I was gonna be a three sport professional athlete. Like I just thought that. Like there was no one in my life that could have told me different, because in my mind I was like, I'm already there. Like, what are you guys talking about? So like I didn't grow. So that that honestly changed trajectory of what I thought was gonna happen. So to me, when I first got my entry into professional sports, shout out to the Milwaukee Brewers, for me, like that was my entry point to be like, okay, I didn't get to be a professional athlete, but now I work with professional athletes. So you know
Mm.
what, young Des, we still met our dream, dog. Like we're gonna keep going. So that's usually a pitch that I use in the past when I was like working for orgs. Like I would throw that line in there in interviews, and it always got a chuckle, which I knew was like, all right, cool, I'm in.
I love
That's
that.
funny.
Oh my gosh.
Love
And
it.
yeah, that's the normal response too when I meet people. They're like, "Whoa, you're huge." Yes, y'all. If you are
You're
listening
literally a
and
foot
you
taller
haven't
than me,
seen
I feel
me,
like.
yeah, I am 6'1", a legit one too, like without shoes on.
Wow.
So
Not
Wow.
3/4
not
flat.
3/4, like no shoes, 6'1", like legit. So
I
um
have three in the house.
we're just, but hey, we
Sort
somehow
of.
have all made it into this dietitian space. So here we are, we're all on the same playing field. So I think for you, that really takes us to really kind of continuing your story, because you became a dietitian and you were in the performance space for a really long time. And now you've kind of taken a more non-traditional approach in what you do
Yes.
in your career and things like that. So what was that first non-traditional step that you took? And then also, have you ever felt pressured to follow a more conventional path of being a dietitian?
Yeah, because I mean, you kind of sent the brief beforehand, and I was looking through of just like some one-off things of like, oh, I would love to talk about that. Just kind of doing some like pre-homework. But as I was thinking of it, I started getting more pissed because everyone laughs at me when I tell this story. I have a professional kill list,
Oh,
or a
snap.
I stay petty list.
Oh
Um,
my
And these
gosh.
are people, organizations that have either told me no, or
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be doing this, or you're not
Mm.
good enough, or whatever, right?
Mm.
And everyone has just been added to this list.
Wait a
So that
minute.
when
The
I
tea.
continually, exactly, so that when I continually do dope shit, I look at that list and I'm like,
Continually.
Continually. Yeah, that
Exactly.
part.
So I look at that list and I just give them a nice little, you don't know about me. You have no idea
What you know about me?
Yes.
what you know about. So to me, like I go back to that list. And then when I first came into the wellness scene, if you will, I did not get an internship, which every one of those schools that said no to me, you were on that list. You
Mhm.
probably started that list for me. So
Mm.
like I
Yep.
didn't I didn't get in right away. So at the time, I remember I had this like really dope job opportunity in Canada and I was going to be
Oh.
working for a PR firm. And like for me, I was like, cool, if I'm not going to be a dietitian, I'm going to go be a Food Network star. And if I'm being for real, like I still want to, like that's on the list. That's on the list of like shit I'm about to do so I can
Love
prove
that.
you all wrong. So I was going to represent this PR firm that worked with Food Network. And so lo and behold, I got in some trouble when I was like 18, and my work visa got denied and I got deported back to the States. And so that like
Mm.
got eliminated. So at the time I was just working as like a broke freaking college server. And this dude gave me his card before I left to Canada and was like about to move and like not coming back. So he left me his card and he actually owned an outpatient center for mental health services. So
Hmm.
I got back, dusted myself off, worked at a couple like burger joints of just trying to like figure my shit out. And so I hit him up and I'm like, all right, it's time to get myself out there, like see what happens. So that was my entry point into
Hmm.
working in eating disorders. And I always
Mhm.
Mm.
tell RDs who are coming on the scene, like, yo, I'm telling you right now, get yourself accustomed to working with eating disorders, try to
Mhm.
get some work because not only are you going to work on your communication skills, but your soft skills, your nonverbals that are
Yes.
going to carry
Hmm.
you in
Mhm.
so many instances
Yeah.
it's going to up level everything that you do.
Yeah.
And it was also a plus too because I ended up meeting my wife in the field because she was the
Oh.
therapist, I was the dietitian. So like it's become a really cool story. But to be honest, like I went from eating disorders, I went into community nutrition, I went into professional sports, I went back to my work as an entrepreneur, started to become a journalist and a writer. So like everything to this point, Bri is like it's been unconventional. Like every
Mhm.
single move that I've taken, and it's usually been because one of two things. One is I'm not being paid my worth, so you can kick rocks with this. I'm out.
Mhm.
Or I've waited and waited, and the universe was like, hey, I'm actually done with you waiting. So I'm gonna make you move,
Mhm.
Mm.
which honestly has been like a telltale sign that I'm no longer meant to be in this space. It's time to
Mhm.
keep it moving. So I
Yeah.
honestly
Mm.
everything has been unconventional to this point.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's
That's
fantastic.
powerful. I mean, and it seems like, I mean, we can all say on here that that's really all of those experiences have made you who you are today, allowed you to get into this very unique space that you're about to share with everybody.
Mhm.
That's so, so cool and dope, in my opinion. Like, I love it. I didn't
Same.
even meet you that long ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Des, like,
Yes.
you're like
Yeah,
a freaking gem. Like, how did it even take so long?
I know.
Wow.
We're homies
So,
now
yeah, for life. I mean,
for life.
forever. So, okay, question here. So, you kind of answered this, but maybe you can get into more depth. Like, when did you realize you didn't need to wait for permission to create your own lane?
Honestly, I was seeing a lot of leaders and in our space, more specifically dietitians, that were telling me what my roadmap had to look like that
Mhm.
looked nothing like me, that thought nothing like me, that didn't
Mm, that
have the
part.
same past experiences
Listen.
as me. And but listen, like my mom's getting a bunch of shout outs. My mom gassed me up in some really special ways. And I think one of the things like a good parent's going to tell a kid like you can do anything that you put your mind to. But my
Right.
mom did it in a really special way where like she tapped into like ancestral shit.
Mhm.
Mm,
So like she was one of the youngest of seven. So like she really valued the type of leadership that her older siblings provided for her. And like for
Sure.
her, it was mostly like everything that you do, like your siblings are watching
Mhm.
and their kids are going to be watching them. And if you're going to be the first person to teach them what it is, to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable, to be a leader, like they're going to look to you. And that from there, that's generational. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
So good.
I remember being like a
That's
13,
powerful.
14-year-old kid in high school, just being like, at the time, like, okay, mom, like, thanks. Like, I got you. But as I grew up, I was like, every single one of those was like a bar. Like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, like for me, it
Wow.
kind of went back to I was seeing a bunch of people who looked nothing like me telling me what I could do and what I should be doing that I'm like, this doesn't feel good. So yeah, I'm not gonna listen to anything you're about to say to me.
Mhm.
Love that.
That's so yeah, and I feel like that happens a lot, especially for people of color in different spaces where we're not, the majority, which is 99% of the time.
Mhm.
It's like, someone is trying to tell us this is the pathway you have to take, and we're like, well,
Yeah.
I it doesn't really feel like it aligns with what I'm really trying
Yeah.
to do. So I got to make this happen on my own. Right. So
Yeah.
I love that you shared that. And also, you shared some good parenting tips too, to
Man.
share with your kiddos and firstborns, because I'm always looking for ways to like share with my son, hey, you're whether you want to be or not, like you're
You're
an
it.
example, like
Yeah.
You're the
you're
leader.
the leader. Like
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, bro, you got that
Yeah.
task, like and, so that's so special because I feel like, parenting style, not to like divulge too much into parenting style, but like continuing to encourage your kids and tell them what they can do obviously shows up later down the line and gives you a
Right.
certain level of confidence to create your own pathway, to do things, that align with who you are and what you want to do. It just gives you that confidence. So I love that you shared that. So shout out to moms
Shout
and
out to Mom
like that's
Abeyta,
special. Like
man.
that
I
shout
need to
out to
meet her.
moms.
For real.
And that takes us to so we know that right now you have really dove into creatives and
Man.
the new
Yeah.
athlete. And to be honest with you, I'm in a lot of spaces and not a lot of people are working in this space or even talking about it. So I'm
Or even thinking
curious,
about it.
or even thinking about it, because a lot of people don't think that this group of people can be considered an athlete. So
Yeah.
give us your thoughts. Like, what does the phase mean? Just give us how did you even get into this space, and like, what does it mean to you?
All
Because it's
right. So
fire.
yeah, I had a moment the other day. So T from Diversified Dietetics, shout out to them.
Hey, T.
Hit me with a screenshot that there's going to be a seminar teaching RDs about how to work with artists. And so there's
Mm.
that. There's a PT on there, and I want to say maybe a strength coach or a fitness coach, right?
Uh-huh.
So she sent that, and right away I was like, "Fuck!" Like
Yep.
my idea, like people are on my idea. Like
Yeah.
maybe this isn't special. Like fuck! Like I'm literally throwing a lot of my energy into this, and I went through like I had all of my I could just kind of put my all my vulnerability crap out, and T hit me back. She's like, first of all, you're an N1. Like
Mm-hmm.
your
Yes.
idea who you are, no one thinks like you do. No one has the
Mm-mm.
networks. No one has the passion. So she's like, let's just address that first.
Yes.
Secondly, like look at who's on that board. And I looked and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're like, I'm straight.
Exactly.
I'm good. I'm good. So I mean, to be honest, so Red Bull, shout out to the product, shout out to the athletes, the talent, the dancers, the people that like literally do what they do, like
Sure.
in awe, inspiring. Like to
Mm-hmm.
me, like, oh my God, I got so much from that opportunity. Leadership has made that kill list while we're there. Like
Mm-hmm.
they'll go there, but Red Bull as a whole, like love, love,
Yeah.
love, love, love. One of the things that I walked away with was I literally met the dopest, most creative people that I've ever met in my life. And what I walked away with was like literally any idea that you have like can happen. Like
Yeah.
if you have fortitude and you can be gritty about that idea, like literally it can come to life. And I saw that day in and day out from the people that I met. And so at the time when I was working there, I met this fitness trainer that was literally working with like the world's best DJs, like the Diplos, the Dylan Francis, like the people that
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
just go around. And he's like, yeah, dude, like I train them. Like that's what I do. And so I had that. And at the time, I literally just signed on this this touring drummer for a really, really big, prominent act that found me that was like, hey, I've been super injured. Like, I got some other things that are happening. Like I need some help. Right. And so to me, I was like, all right, I know that if the fitness space, there's a piece for it, you're damn sure that there's a nutrition space for it as well. And
Absolutely.
so
Always.
I started working with this dude. And what I was finding from getting a lot of his like HRV data back, his VO2 max, like I was just getting data and collecting data. I was like, damn, like one of the coolest things that I look at when I go to a live show is like I look at the drummer. Like they are working
they are
the
for real.
whole time, right? And so I was looking at it and I was like, damn, like that's a lot of energy expenditure to be happening while it's hot as hell outside. So like they're going to be sweating a ton. And so like you started to see like my mind start to just like make sense of this because it was brand new. And I told him and I was like, look, you're my first artist that I've had and we're going to figure this out. But based on everything that you're giving me, like I think one thing that you need to get used to is that you're an athlete. We have to start treating you like that.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I started formulating all of these and I was like, all right, cool. Hydration needs to be on board. He's been cramping a lot. Carbohydrates need to be on board. And so like you just start to see like the nutrition mind start to make sense of it all. And so I worked with him for about, almost 2 years while he did a European tour. Like he just touring and I'm like doing all of these like concierge service type things to like get him prepped, working with his team to make sure that on the rider and on the bus, like things are available. So I'm doing all these things and I'm like, you know what? We look at athletes as investments, but we look at artists and creatives as trends. We look at them as trendy. And I'm like, what if we flip that a little bit? Where it's like, we do have to start thinking of, I'm literally about to put out a post today. Like, I don't know if you can see my wall, but I'm trying to live this shit. So I got Kendrick over here. I got Tyler, the creator right here. I got Donald Glover right here. And then I got Kobe and Gigi over here, which you can't see, but you got to add them in your,
you got to.
in your space. So like, these are the types of artists that completely have changed the game from, I'm not just a hip hop artist. Like I do all of these other things.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, I was literally just pulling pieces from one of Tyler's latest interviews and he was kind of doing an AMA with some other creatives and he was talking about like, I'm about to be 40 in 5 years. Like I'm 35 right now and I'm exhausted. Like I try to get my fitness up, but can I, like, I jump around on stage. Like, can I be doing what I'm doing at 39 or 40? Or do I got to be like the quintessential athlete who, whether they get hurt or they're just sore, that just becomes a coach? And I got to change that lane. And like right away, I'm like, I feel affirmed by what I'm doing because we're losing out on art and longevity of an artist's career because of injury, because of whatever. And we're looking at people like Braun. We're looking at people like KD. We're looking at other athletes who are like literally stretching longevity that are investing in this. And I'm like, no, like we need to create a performance team for creatives. And we need to start treating them like athletes because that's exactly what they are, whether they want to believe that they are or not. And I think I love Nike saying it's like, if you have a body, then you're an athlete. Like to me, it's the same thing. It's what I tell clients all the time. Like, look, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but if you're lifting heavy shit, if you become faster, if you recover better, like if you do all the things and like literally all the shit that you're complaining about, they're no longer issues. And I just keep getting affirmed by these things. And I'm like,
that's so cool.
I don't know. You can't not, when something is hitting you in the face, like an idea, like you got to listen to the universe. Like something's happening. I'm very much one of the weirdos that feels like the multiverse is a very, very real fucking thing. There's like versions of me that are like, Des, I'm telling you, dog, this is it. Like, you got to do this. And so that's a long way of saying like, this shit has me excited. And not a lot of people are doing it. And I feel like we're at the precipice within the career to be like, yo, this is an opportunity.
Absolutely. That is so dope. I mean, and I know like even when you were sharing all of that, I think about some people like LL Cool J and like Dre and all these people that like all of us at Timbaland, we're like, whoa, what happened to you? Busta Rhymes. They had these like crazy transformations. And I mean, it's like, it's really cool to see. It's obviously that they've had a moment of realization of, gosh, I need to take care of myself. Method Man. I mean, list goes on and on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like Method Man is jacked.
He is ripped to the bone. So with all of that, like, what is your process? Like, how do you support the performance needs of all these musicians and creatives? Like, you know, after that experience that you said with the drummer and everything, like how does it look like?
I mean, I'm a data head. Like I love data because it gives us insight into like what's really happening and then also trends, right? So I usually joke with my clients, I'm like, look, the data doesn't lie. Like you're telling me that you're working on your regularity so that we can recover better, so that your HRV is better over time. But I'm seeing here that regularity is actually shit. So like what's happening? Right? Which brings in other issues. So it's like, it's a multi-team approach where like I have people that I'm going to for certain things. But right now, like I'm in the process of building out a concierge team where I have a PT and AT, I have a sports psychologist, and then I have a strength coach. And we're in the process of starting to pitch to like labels and things like that. And then also athletes. And so it's brand new. The concept is new, but like I have people that I'm with that are like, I remember when I pitched this to them too, like, and these are all people that I've worked with on the professional sports side, where I'm like, hey, we have to start thinking about them as this. And like, I'm telling them all the reasons, and you can kind of just see their heads start to spin and they're like, wait, what? Hold on. Like, holy shit, you're right. And so to me, like I said, I'm super data driven. So I'll have them use wearables. You know, we'll use chronometer if they don't want to track, like they'll send photos, which is a lot more like footwork on my side. But like, to be honest, if you're investing in the process, like I'm invested in you, like, let me help you type of thing. So it kind of depends on what the person's bandwidth is. But generally speaking, we do use a lot of data. And if they're traveling or touring or doing stuff like that, I'm literally just trying to help them to be proactive. So whether it is, you know, jumping in their Instacart and building out some things that they can have available at the hotel or where they're going. So it's honestly just like that's why I haven't seen a whole lot of people use like performance strategists, but like that's literally what I feel like I am. Like, I'm a sports RD, I'm a performance RD, like I do that, but like if I'm looking at it, like no, like I'm doing some like strategy shit for them. So like I do use performance strategists because like that's what I feel like I am. So it is a kind of like multifaceted approach, but like that's performance and recovery. Like it has to be multifaceted. You have to have other sets of eyes on the athlete and the artist, because like you have a lane, and maybe if you're someone who's really talented and has some other acronyms by your name, like dope, I love that for you, but like let's not get it twisted. Like you have a lane, you have something that you love and that you know, the other things are just dope to have. So that's why I think like having a team available is A1.
I love, listen, we just touched on one of our recent episodes, like packaging service together and, you know, just packaging things together that we know, or, you know, as an expert will help your athlete or will help your client get from point A to point B in the best way possible, and not having them piece it together, but more you coming to the table with this idea, this package, and saying, hey, these are the pieces that are going to get you from point A to point B, and I'll show you how. So I love that you have like established that. That is huge. For those of you listening, don't try to go steal the idea. Like,
because it ain't going to work.
No.
Okay. No. All right. So
it ain't going to work anyway.
I kind of want to tap your brains for this because I'm a little 50-50 on it.
Tap in.
Gatekeeping. Right?
Come on along with it.
Yep.
Gatekeeping. So again, talk about Tyler a lot. I look at him as like a really big motivation for me, because like he's definitely someone who was like, post your shit, live your truth. You never
Mhm.
know who's watching. Like he found
Yeah.
his creative director on YouTube. Dude had 7 views and he was like, this is dope. So
Yeah.
he's like, you never know who's watching.
Yep.
Right.
He also says it's okay to gatekeep, like keep your shit to yourself. I personally, like, I shared this at the last DD conference. Or like, what do you think is next? And I'm like, for real. And Bree, you were there. Like, for real,
Mhm.
like, you need to start thinking of like working with artists, like, for
Mhm.
real. And so I've talked about it enough where I'm like, you know what? Like, there is a part of me that feels like, damn, I don't want anyone to like steal my idea. But then I take
Yeah.
a step back and I'm like, wait a minute. None of you guys are like me.
Period.
And that's
Not
okay.
That
one.
part.
And that's okay. Like, that is
Mhm.
absolutely okay. Be yourself. But I'm definitely someone who is willing to be uncomfortable. And my wife does not like this about me. I am wildly risk. Like I will go after risk. Like blindly.
Yes.
Ooh.
just under the umbrella of I'm gonna figure this out. I don't know
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
how. I'm willing to be uncomfortable. I'm cool with shedding tears in this office. Like I don't
Mhm.
it won't be the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
So to me, like I don't know. How do y'all feel about gatekeeping?
That's the
Man,
whole thing with this podcast. Like,
that is for
we are
real.
like, open up the book, share it, like, because at the end of the day, like, it helps to share. However, in our previous episodes, we have tried to harp to our listeners, like, just because someone has done something doesn't mean that you copy that and try to replicate that exactly,
Right.
because what's for you will be for you, what's for that
Right.
person will be for that person. So you got to come with it with your own spin, your own uniqueness to make it your
Absolutely.
own. It's cool to pull ideas from people, like we all do that. I think we live in a world where ideas are shared all the time, but no one's going to do it like you. So you have to come to the table with your own uniqueness. And that's where I think it's some of both, right? Like, because, yeah, there might be some projects you're working on that you don't want to share with everybody because you're still maybe working out the kinks, or like it might be something that's
Figuring it
pretty
out.
trailblazing and you're trying to navigate what it's all going to look like. And
Right.
then once it happens, and it's like, okay, great. Like now I can share how we got here, right? So
Right.
someone else can have that opportunity in the future. So it's a win win when it's like you're an open book. But those of you that are listening to someone share their story doesn't mean you take that and just make a complete copy of it, because you're never going to be able to do it just like that person. So you might as well come up with something unique, maybe in that same lane if you want to, but it's still got to be unique to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do copy and pasting. It's never going to work. It's always going to, and the thing about it too is like the passion is not the same, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that thing that was birthed inside you to be able to have the vision that you have, it's not going to be there. It just sounds like a cool idea. Oh, maybe I could do that too, which is fine to be inspired. But as we
Yep.
already said, as we've all said, just don't copy and paste because it's going to look unauthentic. I mean, it happens every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People can see that too.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why we really were, as Bree and I were really trying to figure out uh all the logistics of this podcast, we were like, we're not going to gatekeep. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, if you look
Mm-hmm.
at any of our descriptions, that statement and worded rephrased in many
Oh
different ways,
yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
gatekeeping.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
So
important
we
for
just share the
us.
tea.
Because that's happened. I think we've had a lot of experiences too. And again, being people of color, like I've
Right,
had
that part.
experiences where I was trying to build something. I was trying to build the Not Collective, and it was obviously a very unique community, and I had never done it before. And I got connected with a lady that worked for a very, very large company. And we got on the call, and I started telling her, hey, this is what I want to do. And she was like, oh, well, I actually can't help you because I'm trying to build that same thing. We already kind of have it built, and you would be like a direct competitor. So like I can't
Crazy.
help. And I was like, sis, what? Like I was shocked because I couldn't
Crazy.
believe that she would, one, even think that I would be a competitor with her. Like, because I'm like, we're actually not, we're completely different audiences, right? But the other thing was, I said, this is the issue. People don't want to share what they're doing or help other people to get into a space because they're afraid that there's not enough space for everyone. But in
Yeah.
reality, there's plenty of space
So
for
much.
everyone, and you're going to do it how you do it. I'm gonna do it how I do it, you know, and that's okay. But that I had an experience, and I've had multiple experiences with that. And then Uma and I have had numerous
girl, y'all leave it
numerous
alone.
times.
It's Uma audience. Don't listen to what they're saying.
I digress. I had to. We've had
Brianna.
numerous like dietitians come to us. It's Brianna, y'all listen. We've had numerous like students and like interns that have been like, oh, you know, like, can you help me? Because no one else has wanted to share this information with me. You know, like I can't seem to get these answers anywhere. And it's like, yes, sit down, let's talk about it. So
right.
That's kind of that's for us, like, I don't know, just the experiences is why we're so open to sharing information. And, you know, I think it's just so important for our field and adjoining fields. So if you're in the wellness space or fitness space or whatever that looks like, just being open. And I feel like that kind of takes us to like, for the people that are going to listen to this podcast and are watching you do your thing, that are sitting at home, that might be like, wow, I would love to do that. You know, like that seems like a cool space to work in. What are some tips, or like, what is some advice that you would give them to even break into an emerging space?
I was thinking about this, and this is why I'm such a plug for having your own medium or your own platform. And let me tell you why. I told you I took a break with my pod because I'm doing some different artistic things, and the idea will come out when it's ready to come out. And so, like, I don't feel held to the quintessential dropping of podcasts right now with where I am in my season.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to you all for doing it. I love it. What I think has been really cool about it is I've used my platform to have conversations with people that I probably wouldn't have come up to randomly at some sort of networking event to be like, hey, can we talk about, I just wouldn't have done that. But having your own medium or having your own platform offers an opportunity to someone to come in, tell their story, share their expertise, which, to be honest, who the hell doesn't want to do that? Like, if you have something that you're absolutely passionate about and someone asks you, can you come on and share your expertise and share your passion? How many of us are gonna be like, no? Like, it's just a weird thing to say no to. So for me, like, what I've done with most of these is I've used my medium to have conversations with people, to not only just network and become friends with them, but like, I'm the type of person, in most cases, from a like communication standpoint, I'm the type of person who like really, really enjoys first interactions.
Yeah.
And if I catch a good vibe from you, like, we're going to become friends. Like, I just make that part of like what I do. If I don't catch a good vibe from you, our conversation is very short. It's very kind of like top level.
Straight
and
up.
then I kind of like,
and
kind of just like go back.
Like, we're good.
I just Homer Simpson it back into the bushes.
Not Homer Simpson.
I'm just good. So to me, like, I've used my platform, my podcast medium, and like other opportunities to like truly connect. And I can't say enough good things about having your own medium so that you can have conversations and essentially expand on your network, because that's exactly how it's happened. Like, each and every step that I've had has all honestly come back to some sort of medium that I've had, whether it was your social media work, right? Or whether it was your podcast. So like, it's honestly just come back. And now it's like the men's health journalism work that you do. So like, it's honestly just been mediums that I've had where people come in, and like, that's how things have happened.
That's amazing. I mean, and I love that. It's like a matter of just being bold, using a platform, creating a platform for yourself, a space, and being able to talk to people. And when did you even say with that allows you to be more confident? Like, especially for all the, you know, up and comers that maybe are just like, oh, I want to, but I don't know how, and I'm scared. And, you know, I mean, you get that a lot. I mean, I know we hear that a lot.
Yeah. Like, to be honest, I've had moments where like I've had kind of like pinch me moments. Like, Bri, when I first had you on, like, I was trying to grow the pod, and like, you were always someone that I like really looked up to, that was like doing cool things. So I was like, at the time, I need to have Bri on. Most recently, so my daughter has been watching the show Ada Twist Scientist. It's off of the book series.
Love it. My kids love that. My daughter used to, man, she
I
must
freaking
love
love
it.
it, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember I saw this because they kind of do like little exposés about like real scientists of color that are doing some dope things.
Yeah.
So I came across this Black scientist who's also Nigerian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just happens.
I love it. So his name is the Hip Hop MD. And so like I went and followed him, and I had been like engaging on all of his shit because like what he's doing in the BIPOC space with STEM and things like that is just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So like he talks a ton about hip hop. So when I came up with this idea that I'm still trying to now produce, like I have all the conversations recorded, now I'm trying to produce it. I tapped him and I was like,
Yeah.
yo, would you be willing to talk about like vocal cord
Wow.
health and like why it's
Ooh.
important? And he was like, bro, yes. So like I had him on. So like
Wow.
I have these little pinch me moments where I'm like, dude, shout out to the podcast because it's honestly my
Yeah.
medium to which I meet people. And
That's so
like for those
cool.
of you who are thinking like, do I have enough to talk about? Like, listen, there's enough people out there with podcast mics that have no that should not have an opportunity to have any sort of space in anyone's brain. Like we know
Yeah.
that right now. And it kind of goes back to that saying of like there's people out there that are less talented, that are
Man.
less gritty, out there doing exactly what you want to do
Yes.
because they
Preach.
just went out and took action.
It took a
Like that
leap.
Okay.
that's what it is. And so
Mm-hmm.
as much as
Gotta
that
take a
pisses
leap.
you off, and it should. So
Yeah.
if you are someone who's sitting on an idea, it's time to get the F up and just see what happens.
Make it happen. I love that. And that's true. I mean, it's all about risk taking in this space, period. As an entrepreneur, it's about risk and how big of risk you want to take and when you want to take it, right? Like,
Yeah.
love that. What about now, Diz? Diversifying your income. We want to talk about that because you're doing multiple things. Like you said, you have the ability and the option to kind of put the podcast thing aside because you got all these other things going on. So talk
Yeah.
about like the opportunity with men's health, how that came about, like what you're doing, like
Yeah.
tell us about it.
So men's health, I'm not on LinkedIn a lot. Like LinkedIn's kind of like one of those things where I don't like add any sort of like fire to it. But things have dropped in my lap on LinkedIn's like DMs, and like I'll check it like once like every quarter. But like back in 2019, I had a editor reach out to me from Men's Health that I was like, hey, um, we saw your TEDx talk. We really loved it. We saw that you're a dietitian. You know, would you be willing to write a book for us? And I was like,
Wow.
bro, what? So I thought it
Wow.
was spam. So I was like, I'm not gonna answer this. Like this, like
Gosh.
I get
this is
that.
this is spam. Like what? So I
Oh
didn't
my
answer it.
goodness.
And so they reached out to me on my personal email, which like for most
Whoa.
people, you probably have like a burner email that's like first name,
Yeah.
last name at Gmail, right? So I
Yeah.
found it there and I was like, all right, this is legit. So like I didn't really have my business just yet. Like I was literally just kind of starting taking clients and whatnot. And so I answered. And so in the process, I'm like, all right, this is absolutely legit. Like I'm writing a freaking book for men's health. And so they hit me with they hit me with some money, and I was like, look, I would have charged more, but let me throw something back at you that we can make this work. I'll see you on what you're going to pay me here, but I would love to create a long-standing relationship with one of your editors or someone like that. And they were like, okay, deal.
Bet.
Let's go ahead and get you started here. Let's get this book launched. And also, here's Paul Kita, editor for Men's Health. Let's go ahead and introduce you. And so
Wow.
since then, like I had just been like writing, almost every month. And so I'm on the advisory board. I always joke with people like any imprint issue that you've ever received as of 2019, I have my name in there. Go check me out.
Love that.
So,
I
like,
love that.
You
so
better
like
toot
things
your own
have,
horn.
Okay.
yeah.
Come on.
So like things have honestly grown since
I
then.
love
And so like
that.
I've had a bunch of stories that have come through. Like I'm usually the go-to person of like, hey, like this writer needs a quote. Can you take a look at this? Like, for instance, they're writing something on AG1 and some of the other like nutraceuticals. Like, would you mind doing that? And so like I've been in the process of doing a lot of those things, but for me, it was kind of like perfect timing because essentially in mid-Feb, Red Bull was like, hey, like Des, thank you for your service. It's no longer needed. And so I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna go off and do my own thing again. And so like I hit up Men's Health and I'm like, hey, like I love what I've been doing. Like it's been really cool. I have other talents. Like I would love to run a podcast for you guys. Like I would love to be like an on-site journalist. Like you love my writing, like cool. Love my ideas too. And so they've given me kind of the green light. And most recently I just got done with a on-site journalism gig for a really big biohackers conference for a very controversial figure, and the story got launched 2 weeks ago, and
Wow.
like it's getting a ton of traction. Which, if you hit me up on Dietitian Des, I'm going through the series because I had some other health professionals talk some shit. So I saved the receipts, and we're coming back to it with each
You
series because
better.
I'm like,
Come on.
yeah, I'm going to, and I have been. So going back to the original question, like I think for a lot of us, we've probably noticed that dietetics doesn't pay a lot. It doesn't. So like you do have to be gritty and very creative with how you make your money. And so whether it is the journalism gig that I have with Men's Health, whether it is getting brand deals, whether it is coaching this concierge service, like
Right.
you're damn straight if you think like you're doing too much. Like I have to. I'm
Right.
I'm at a race to like I keep joking with people like I'm at a race to replace Red Bull money. So like yeah, I'm throwing everything out the wall, and I know something's got to stick. That's just stats.
I love that.
Listen,
I love the confidence. Like, hey, I got more to offer. Like, what you want to do?
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
let's talk about all the options. I love how you position yourself that way and continue to do that because they're like, yeah, he actually probably really does. As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's so dope.
I feel like we've talked so much about confidence too, and whether it's like pricing your services or like building out your own, carving out your own lane, or like whatever it is that you do, just being confident. And I feel like you answered a lot of the questions too there with, what you're doing with Men's Health and like journalism and, all the other things that you're doing. So I'm curious because you're a parent, right? You're a husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
are doing all of these things. And so
Yeah.
I'm curious, you've got a lot of passions that you're pursuing and diving into full throttle. Like, how do you keep from burning out from, with all the passions and things you're pursuing, plus having a family?
Um, you know, leaving Red Bull gave me a really cool gift. So for 2.5 years, I always tell people like I was like living the dream. Like I was traveling the world, traveling all over the US. Like my wife would make fun of me. She's like, Desi's at a work trip. But like really, like there was this like activation that we had in Miami. And so like we were supposed to go cliff diving with our cliff diving athlete, like after we were done with the event.
Wow. Wow.
Oh
And
my
so like it
goodness.
was raining. And so we were like, crap, we can't
What?
do it. And so like
Yeah.
one of the producers was like, look, let's just go ahead and get a yacht, hit the bay, and we can jump off the yacht. And I was like,
Not a yacht? Hold on.
so
Come
like
on.
that's the type of
What?
stuff that I was doing. And so
Yeah.
like
Shoot.
That's dope.
the caveat to a lot of that though is like I was rarely home, like
Yeah.
if ever. And I think my kid just got used to like me not being there or available. And even if I was home, like I was rocking like 60-hour work weeks. Like it just never
Wow.
stopped. And so I remember like the first 2 weeks that like I was like unemployed because at the time like I was still trying to get affirmation with whether I should go back in my business. And my younger brother was like, Des, like you have skills. It's going to be uncomfortable at first, but you've done it before. Like you can do it
Right.
again.
Yep.
So I shut down pretty much my whole business to work for Red Bull because I kind of understood like I'll take some clients here and there, but like this is going to be a big life change.
Sure.
And so like for me, I kind of just got permission to like no, Des, like you are special in a lot of ways, and if you're living authentically to who you believe you are, like dude, things will happen again like they did last time. It'll happen again. Up until this point, the things that you've done in your life have surprised you. Like we got to hold space for that. So there was that piece, and the other piece was, I had joked with my wife and I was like, she kind of checked in on me kind of first month, like, how you feeling, like are you okay? And I was like, you know what, to be honest, like I think our kids love me more. Like, which is
Aw.
stupid to say, but like they do. And now, like, if you're asking me, like, how do I balance it all? Like my wife is talented. So like she's a trauma therapist. So like she's gotten gritty and has found some really dope things to throw her energy into
Mhm.
while we're kind of in this space of like, all right, cool, we gotta grind right now. We gotta figure this out.
Right.
We gotta get our money back up. We gotta do a bunch of
Mhm.
things. Like we gotta grind. So like I feel really thankful for her because
Mhm.
not only is she a fantastic partner, but she is super fucking talented and like she has carried us through some like really cool moments. Because right now, like I think I have maybe like 3 hours a day to work because a lot of it is kind of just like being a dad, like, all right, let me try to like do something here. Like, okay, cool. Augie just hit Rory. Like, okay, I gotta stop. Let me put this down. I gotta go explain to him. We use our words, we don't use our hands. And then like I'll go back, and then Rory is like, hey, like I want to go do this. Can we go do this? And I'm like, shit, let me close it again. And so like
Yes.
I have three
Oh, we
hours a
know it.
day to
Yep.
like sprint.
Yeah.
And so like for me, it kind of goes back to being very realistic with like what I can achieve
Sure.
and
Right.
like literally looking at the high priority items of like things that I need to be doing because
That part.
I I have people who are counting on me with these ideas. And to be honest, like this second time around of like rebuilding my empire, if you will, I've kind of taken this stance of like this has to work out. Like there is
Yeah.
no plan
Right.
B.
Mhm.
Like this
Mhm.
has to work out. And I'm not even really thinking about failure anymore. I'm
Yeah.
really just thinking about like where could this go?
That's good.
Mm.
And like listen, like I've been in it since March. So like I'm about to hit the 6 month mark, but
Mhm.
like things are moving. I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. I haven't replaced Red Bull money yet, but like you're damn straight. Like I'm about to get there. Like
Oh, I
it'll
Yes.
love
happen.
it.
So
So
good.
yeah, like being extremely
Mentality
realistic
shift.
about what you can do. Like that's just
Yeah.
kind of where
Yeah.
I'm at. And
Period.
my kids love that I'm around because I
Mhm.
And
two and
would
a
you
half
say
years is
too that
dope.
that's a motivator too in
Yeah.
itself is like you grind for them? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's your
Yeah.
Yeah,
family, it's your passion, but you like you said, you and your wife are doing whatever you got to do to get that money up and to do what you
Mhm.
got to do for your future, for your
yeah,
legacy.
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
that.
To be honest, because like my daughter is super artistic. Like my dude Augie like is a hooper through and through. So like I mean, so is Rory too. Like I I got the sticker the other day. It was like, you can't scare me. I coach girls basketball. Because I've been coaching her teams. And dude,
Great.
Bri,
I love that for
lock,
her.
she's a lockdown defender. Like,
Oh,
and I'm just
my
like telling people,
girl.
wait until
Oh,
I show you how to make your opponent go left. Just wait. Like,
Yes.
this is gonna be great. So, anyways,
Yes.
um, yeah, I want to be a model for them. Like, that's just like
I love
how
that.
I'm trying to live my life. And if they look back, like what I really want to give them is like my dad was there. He created a career around being there and he did some
Mhm.
dope shit that
Yeah.
he was really proud of. Like, cool. Like, I'm going to go do my version of art. Cause that's another
Yeah.
thing too, going back to the creators of the new athletes, like each and every one of us, the way that we're living our life, if you truly break it down, is our artistic expression.
Yes.
Right. That's
Whether or
true.
not you think you're an artist or not, how you parent, how you show up, how you
Mhm.
work out, like that's
Man, that
all
part.
expression.
So true. So true.
Gosh, I
Mm.
love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, gosh, kind of made me tear up a little bit, not gonna lie. I
Don't
was
cry.
like, ah!
Oh, don't start because I
It's true though. It's true.
It's
It's
just
true.
awesome. But I know, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you can hear it's beautiful to be able to hear that and see it and just your story leading up to here and being able to have that moment with your kids. And it's just,
Mhm.
I was in my feels a little bit. So bravo to you. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
I,
And hopefully
me,
all of you
I always
listeners
am.
truly gain something for that because that's real.
Yeah. And there
Okay.
were lots of tips too that you shared
Yeah.
with just like when it comes to time management and prioritization, like what matters to you most
Right.
is very important because money ain't everything, especially when you've got other people relying on you or looking up to you and like their life is in your hands and it's
Literally.
like the little ones they don't ask to be here, oh, so that that tugs on our
Yeah.
hearts, and
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
so important when you think about those things, and it's okay to shift. It's okay to make changes when you realize, hey, you know what, this is a priority to me, and
Man,
we're just gonna have to make it work with what we got. With the time I got, I'm gonna make it work. So
Yeah.
I feel you in this season that you're in for sure.
Yeah.
100%. And you're still killing it in the season
Mm-hmm.
that you're in,
Period.
despite it all. I love it.
Okay.
Trying to. I listen, like I feel good about the trajectory. Like I truly do. And maybe I'm lying to myself. I don't know, but like to be honest, my brain can't tell the difference right now. I am excited. I feel like I'm on something. We'll see what happens.
I love it. What is it like for you right now telling these stories on a national level? I mean, it's especially with all that you've
Yeah.
recently shared on your social media. Definitely
Yeah.
encourage you guys that are listening, tap in, follow Des, because it is content that is just so unique, just so like
Yeah.
different, but speaks volumes. And yeah, like how is it like for you to be able to tell those stories on a national level?
Like honestly, I've been trying to get out of Tucson, which is my city, my home, for like such a long time. I think as I turned 40 this year in December,
40 Club.
40 Club, I'm
Sorry,
very
everybody.
much, yeah,
We're
I'm
not there
very
yet.
much like, I actually want to represent my city in a special way because, like, I
That's
know
dope.
that there's kids growing up here who are getting a different picture of what it looks like to like make it, whether it's social
Mm-hmm.
media and things like that, that I don't really necessarily think is very healthy. And so for
Mm,
me, like I truly want to like represent myself as someone who was willing to have a crazy idea, was willing to be
right.
crazy enough to ask for support for that idea or to take action on it. And then lastly, to be so like crazy enough to be consistent with it because maybe you didn't know what the end goal was going to be, but you knew that you were falling in love with the process. Like the crazy
Mm,
and the dope ones are the ones who do that. And we
right.
know that
Mm-hmm.
working with athletes, and we know that working with some high level people, like they're the crazy ones that decided to be consistent and just blindly thought to themselves, like, I'm gonna make this work. Like, I don't know
Right.
how, but I'm gonna make it work. And so for me, like it is really cool to see it at a national level. Again, like I do think the greats have had a level of pettiness that has driven them. You look at MJ, you look at it, all the greats, like
Man, that's so
Mm-hmm.
they've kind
true.
of gone back. And when I see like really prominent wellness leaders in our space that want to talk shit to me about what I'm doing, I'm like,
Add them to the list.
you don't know me. Like, oh
Right.
my God. Like,
You need to make a shirt,
cool.
Des.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple shirts I need to make actually.
We'll wear them. Hey, put it on a mug and we'll
Okay.
do a little cheers
Listen, we
to
will
it.
I don't know if
cheers
it's
to
out there
that.
yet, but like created as the new athletes, that's definitely one.
Love that.
I also really want to get like professionally petty. Um,
Come
Ooh!
on. We will wear it
Right
on the
away.
show. Hands down.
so
I
we got
love
someone
that
out there
one.
who makes shirts. I'm trying to get my daughter to do that. I'm trying to get her like really into embroidery because I'm like, I just
Yeah.
want you to make my
Mhm.
shirts, girl. Like
Yeah.
I sport all of her shit. Like she she drew
Oh,
this
stop
Oh
of
my
her and
gosh.
Augie, and like she drew it, and I was like, I'm gonna
Oh,
get that tattooed because like that's how much I love your art. So like
oh
this
my
is my favorite artist
gosh.
I
wall. Like
can't.
Rory's art is on here too. Like you can
I
probably
can't.
right there.
I love that.
Stop
I
it.
love
Yeah.
that. Oh
You're
my
a great dad.
gosh.
Guys, he's a great dad.
Such a great
Thank you.
dad.
Try to.
Honestly. Uh Well, I mean, you're, like I said, you're doing so many amazing, dope things. And I know you have more on the horizon. So for you, I'm going to kind of make this a two-part question of like, what are you most excited about when you think about the next step in your career path and what you're building? And then, for those that are listening who are trying to build something and do something original for the first time, like, any other tips that you might give them on, how to get things started. I know you talked about having your own medium, but is there any other tips that you want to give them as they carve out space and maybe they don't see anyone doing it, and they have to do it alone or do it scared or whatever? So, give me your thoughts on that next chapter as well as tips for those trying to
Yeah.
do same thing.
Listen, like I feel like writing. So the last Kendrick album, he has a song called Gloria,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty much an homage to his pen, right? And like the
Hmm.
toxic relationship that they've gone through, and like the type of like work that they've had to do together, and like a lot of my folders and things and like idea dumps, like I have Gloria on it because like to
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
me, like my pen and myself have always been at odds. Like there's things that I haven't written yet. Fuck.
Oh, gosh, I love it.
Fuck me. There's things that I haven't written yet that I'm afraid to because I don't want people like not to like it, or like I'm just
Sure.
afraid of like what happens with it. And so like for me, if you're asking me like what's next, like it's truly like falling in love with my pen.
Mm-hmm.
The scientific writing, that stuff, that's easy. Like I
Yeah.
can do that. But like the vulnerable shit, like I want to be on stages. Like I want to write like short films. Like I want to do
Yeah.
shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to like hold awards and like tell people who are up and coming like, yo, you got to make peace with yourself to like make it. Like
So
that's
good.
what this is. And so
Yep.
if you're asking me what's next, like it's that piece. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know exactly what that looks like. I do know I'm in the process of like pitching ideas out and like trying to like be okay with, I don't know, being raw, but
Yeah.
Hmm.
like those pieces are there. Now, like to jump on the other question, like how to get started, I'm a huge fan of Brené Brown's work and all of her
Mm-hmm.
shame resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Like she does have an exercise from a book that she wrote called Dare to Lead, where it's a value-based exercise. And so like they took all of the research-driven values that people have come up with, and the biggest goal of yours is to like point is to kind of delineate into like two values that everything runs by.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, like if you don't know or have clarity on what your values are,
Hmm.
that's the first step, because from there you can start adding in like places that you want to go by basing it off of your ideas. And I just
Absolutely.
recently did the exercise and my values have changed over the year. Like for the longest
Mm-hmm.
time, it was generally vulnerability and authenticity. And now it's been more on the side of like creativity and like knowing your voice. And
Hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
it's subject to change. And I think what I'm doing now is very much that. So whether it is working with artists, whether it is the concierge service that I'm developing, Bri, I got to hit you up because my sister is moving back. And so she's, a baby RD that just came on the scene a year. So she's coming back. So it's like
Love
she has a
that.
passion work into like social work and working with
Mm-hmm.
families. So it's like now we're trying to think about like, all right, cool, the insurance pays piece. Like maybe that's something I
Hmm.
can build with my sister. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like doing all of these things because like these are where my values are right now. So I think
Yeah.
you can't have a roadmap if you have no idea where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Come
Right,
on, T.
man. Golly. And I will just say, Des, like you are so raw and real already. Like
Yeah.
that is just something that when I met you recently, I was just immediate. I was like, man, this dude is just cool. Like you're just laid
Yeah,
back,
dude,
raw,
likewise.
real. Like just, I mean, it is what it is. Like you said earlier, like when you meet somebody, you vibe with them or you don't, and it was instantly. I was like,
Instant.
so I know that all the things that you just said are without a shadow of a doubt going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love
Thank
that.
you.
Absolutely. You don't need to thank me. I'm just spilling the tea.
Okay. Come on, T. This
Okay.
whole episode has been tea.
Oh my gosh.
It's tea.
Seriously. With that being said, I mean, what advice do you have in general, kind of like putting this all together for wellness, nutrition, wellness, sports performance professionals? Like, what do you wish more dietitians, wellness professionals knew when trying to build something truly unique and original?
Like, look, I I'm gonna speak to the BIPOC people first. There's been some
Yes.
new regulations that have been handed out where they're saying the quiet part out loud, that is a fucking bummer. I don't know about you all, but I had to take out massive amounts of loans, not only to get through college, but to also get into an unpaid internship. I had to work, 36 hours to keep benefits at the time while I also was at a dietetic internship. So like I didn't have the privilege of like a parent carrying the load. So
Right.
now that people who are up and coming now have to also get a master's and also do an unpaid internship, now they're saying the quiet part out loud. So like to me, this might be a hot take, but there's definitely areas or arenas that you need to be a dietitian. You need to have some sort of credential, but if you don't have the means, I think the really cool thing about the environment right now is that there's some really solid people out there that don't have an RD or some
Right.
sort of master's degree next to their name that are doing some dope shit.
Yeah.
And if you are creative enough and you are willing to learn from people who understand the system, who want to do good, who take care of people, like you put yourself in those spaces, like you're going to become one of those people regardless of what your credential says. So to me, like again, a lot of professionals might hate that I'm saying this, but like I don't give a shit. um, you can do some dope things if you do it the right way. So like how to get started, how to do those things, like simply like reach out. I think for a lot of us, I'm not gonna speak for you two, but for me, if I have someone reaching out and we come from similar backgrounds and you're passionate about what you're doing, like, yo, like, what do you need, dog?
Same.
What do you
That's the
need?
way we are.
You know what I mean? Like, how can I help you? Right. So, like, I think if you're someone who is thinking about that, like reach out to your mentors. You just never know whether it is an internship, whether it is like, yeah, let's go get coffee. Like I literally just got coffee with one of my homies who is local, black dietitian. Like we don't get to connect as much as we want to because it's mostly IG. That like he's now starting his business. Like shout out to you, Caleb. But
Love
like
that.
I was like, yo, let's go get coffee. And then after I was like, yo, would you be willing to like body double on some ideas? And he was like, bro, yes. And I was like, dope. Let's go meet here. Let's just kick it and we'll just body double and work. And then also like, yo, what do you think about this idea? So like that type of stuff is real. And I think for a lot of us collectively, we want to see the next generation shine in a really, really
Yeah.
special way because
Right.
from a leadership perspective, they are now saying the quiet part out loud with where they want the trajectory of the space to be from a race and ethnicity standpoint. Like they're now saying it out loud, and
Yeah.
that shit drives me nuts.
Yeah. It's hard, and those are conversations I feel that have to be had
Yeah.
on the platforms that those of us do have, right? That have gotten through it, and we now have the space and the confidence to speak on it and create opportunities. And obviously, everyone will approach it differently. Some of us
Right.
will just directly reach down and pull up, right? Like other people will be in the policy space, hopefully. So
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's the other important piece is remembering that figure out how you can help the future generations. What does that look like for you? Because we should all be doing something, but you got to figure
100%.
out what that looks like for you and then nosedive into it. If you aren't taking interns and that's something you are passionate about, start doing that, right? Like if
Right.
yep,
you are open to giving people opportunities, start doing that, right? Like all those things are ways that we can reach down, pull up, because if we don't do it, it won't be done for us. And that is something that is important. Like we can't forget that. Like no one's going to do it for us. Like it historically that's never happened. So we have to do it. We have to reach out. And I feel one of the themes that have recurred through just our talk with you, Des, is resilience and being
yeah.
Yes.
able to, continue on when things get hard. So I would love for you to share with us just like one belief or value that has grounded you throughout your career when the path maybe felt unclear. And I know you've had some shifts, like obviously things have happened at different places you were at, Red Bull being one of those. Like, how did you stay grounded? And what are some things you can share with people on beliefs or values with that?
I mean, I have the example right here, so I'll show it here as I kind of release the idea. I don't remember where I got this, but being in the mental health space, like you can't not come across trauma, And I was very lucky very early on. Like my wife and I were literally just talking about it, last night. And so as a young RD in the space, like we were in an inpatient clinic, and you can't not work with eating disorders and not find trauma. Like they're kind of one and the same. And so, we were learning from what was cool too about our team is like we were incredibly diverse. Like our lead therapist was from Mexico City. We had a black queer doc, and so like female doc, and so like there was so much about it that I was just like learning at such a high and fast pace. And like one of the things that kind of was my greatest gift was like I was in a session with our team in a family session where like the family comes in and we do some education around, and then we offer an opportunity to have the client confront them in a healthy way about some of the things that they've done in the past. And one of the things that one of our docs had shared with some education around what happens around the ages of 6, 7, and 8 around attachment and what attachment theory says, right? And so if you think about any of us who have kind of lived a life around that time or have kids, like that is where kids are facilitating their relationship to safety, to attachment to things, to attachment to thought processes. And so she had just educated them on like a lot of these traumatic situations that have happened in your life or around these ages, and this is exactly what's happening with your neurochemistry. So like that spoke to me. Years later, what kind of came from that was like doing some inner child work. And so like the therapist that I was working with was like, you know what, Des, like I really think, because I'm someone like you've been talking a great deal, giving me flowers about like how confident I'm showing up and how vulnerable I'm showing up. But like, let's not get it twisted. Like I am my own worst critic in a very, very bad way. And so like one of the things she asked me to do, she's like, Des, I want you to go, I don't know where you can get this, but I want you to grab a picture of your 7-year-old self, and I want you to keep it in your space that you're going to see every day. Because what I want you to remind yourself is that as you reparent yourself, as you try to show up as the best version of yourself, you're truly showing up as a version that you can go back to your 7-year-old self and be like, yo, I got you. Like we're good.
Wow,
Like
good.
I'm the adult. I'm the safe adult in this space. Like I truly got you. So like for me, I got 7-year-old Des in a
My
Oh, look, y'all. See, this is why I need to watch the YouTube because y'all got to see this picture. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Adorbs.
So
right.
cute.
So I
Oh,
got the
I
the
love that.
turtleneck and the tucked in turtleneck.
Oh,
Like it's
screaming
like
90s.
it's
Yeah,
giving
it's very
screaming
much
90s,
so.
screaming the rock, right? So most people do that
It
for like
really
Oh my
is.
gosh.
Oh
it
my
really
gosh.
So like I have that there because to me it's like how many of us would like talk shit to like a 7-year-old that they love, much less a
Right.
7-year-old version of themselves. So I think for
Wow.
me, like it does when I am in like really deep moments, like I do have this here so I can be like, yo, no, like hold on, like I'm the safe adult in the room.
Mhm.
Like we're gonna be good. Like I'm gonna do right by you because we may not have gone professional in all three sports, little Des, but like I tell you what though, dog, like we've done some really cool things and I'm
Wow.
super excited for you to see them as you grow. So like fuck, I'm about to cry again. God damn.
Oh.
Oh my God.
This is so amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Amazing.
if you're someone who struggles with I don't know, inner beliefs, talking shit to yourself, like literally go get a picture of little you and put it somewhere so that you can remind yourself that like you would not speak to that person in that way. Like that's just facts.
Powerful.
And if you would, most insurance companies and most places that you're working offer free therapy. So
Mhm.
blessings.
Yes, yes.
Consider it.
Come on, Key.
Man, that's dope in so many ways. Des, this has been amazing. I mean, do you said so much, you provided so much tea. I mean, the most thus far in my opinion. And it's been amazing. I know that I've learned so much. Gosh, what
Mhm.
about you, Bri? Like
Yeah,
this has been
honestly,
inspiring
like
me for myself.
There's a lot of takeaways, and I really hope that as a listener you guys play this back, because there's probably going to be different parts of this
Layers.
podcast that are going to align with you in different seasons of your life.
For sure.
And we've talked before as entrepreneurs how you will go through seasons. There's going to be seasons where you're filled with ideas and you're going after it. There's going to be harder seasons where you're having to sacrifice your time, maybe for your family or like other things. Or there might be seasons where you just ain't got it and you're trying to push through. So I feel this podcast was huge. Like if you're walking away from it feeling more grounded, feeling more like, hey, I got this and inspired, then you should, because I know we all
Yes.
feel that way. You're not alone. And
Yeah.
Dezi, like, huge thank you to you. And we already talked about your confidence and just your, approach to everything, vulnerability. And that's huge for people listening, because oftentimes, as we said, gatekeeping happens a lot. And they see those of us who have platforms and people think, oh, they've got it all together. Like it's never been hard. And it's like, no, like it's been hard. It's a struggle. It's a journey. All of it is.
Yeah.
Like it's huge.
They see the
So,
highlights.
Yes, they see the highlights and people think, oh, like life is just always like peaches and cream. And it's like, not all the time. So thank you for just sharing gems that our listeners can go back to and get, and showing us that there's room for creativity, showing us there's room for your passions and all that good stuff. So I love the work that you're doing. You guys, if you're listening, whether you're coaching or whether you are pursuing media space or trying to take your next best step, like if you enjoyed this episode, listen again. But
and again,
I'm gonna say share it, but like listen to it again for you. Listen to it again and again and again. Save it so that you can come back to it, download it so you can come back to it. I don't think we've said that yet with any of our episodes, but I truly feel that way with this one.
Yes.
So make sure you save that and go back to it, and follow Dez too. He's on Instagram, right?
Drop your handle.
Dez.
Drop your handle, Dez. Where can they follow you?
Dietitian Dez. I will say probably the one that I'm having the most fun with is IG. Like TikTok and YouTube, I'm still trying to figure that shit out. I think on the YouTube front,
right.
I'm gonna go more like series. Because the series that I'm dropping right now, people are liking. So I'm like, all right, there's got to be a longer form piece here. To close, I do have a question for the two of you. That's cool.
Yeah,
right? Of course.
I'll hop into my host voice.
Yes.
I'm always really inspired by like other people who are doing similar things, because like I know what it takes to continually show up and not really know like what is to come of the idea. So like I'm a huge fan of that. So like to the two of you, super excited. I value the two of you so much. So thank you for inviting me here. I'm curious, and I want to answer from each of you. I'm curious, like what's the best case scenario for this pod?
Oh man,
gosh, Dezi, why would
Dez, you got to put us in the hot seat on Hot Tea with Umo and Bri. Okay. Uma. Okay, so I'm gonna give you my answer, because I we're gonna have similar answers, but we all have different things that we're thinking. But I really do envision this to branch into so many different opportunities. I mean, Bri and I have such a huge passion of mentorship, specifically as dietitians of color, women, moms of 3, like we have so many similar things that we do and similar paths in which we've gotten to where we are. So this is not just going to be a podcast. We'll say that much. I'll say that much. It's going to lead into, programs. I mean, having a space where people can actually share their ideas, ask questions. I mean, the list goes on. And the way we really are approaching this is we are also both believers, and we're leaving it in God's hands. We're praying, and we're allowing him to lead us in the path that he wants to take us when he wants to take us there.
Love it.
So we have a lot of peace about how we're moving and what we're doing. And it's just like, let it be what it becomes.
Yeah. I mean, I second all of that. And I feel that one thing that we were hoping when we started this was that anyone who listened to our podcast or watched the YouTube or whatever felt safe. They felt seen.
Yeah.
They felt like, oh, this is familiar, and they're really real with me, like they're not pulling back things or holding back things because they've already experienced so much of that. A lot of stories like ours where people have held back and withheld information that could help advance someone else's career. And, we wanted to create a space specifically for the people that have experienced being shut down when they're looking for advice, experience having to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to get a little bit of knowledge on their next best step, so it's always been passion. It's always been, hey, what are we already doing? Right. Like we're already hopping on Zooms with people, when they want to chat about something. Like that's normal. We do that just because it's like, why? Well, if we don't do it, who else is going to do it? Like who else is going to do that? And like I said, from personal experience, I've been shut down. I've had people deny me Zooms. I've had people say, no, I don't want to help you from the beginning of my career, even up until now. It's happened. First time I decided to become a dietitian, I'm not going to name no names, but I had a trainer set me up.
You know who you are.
With a local dietitian, local sports dietitian. And she refused to get on the call with me because for whatever reason, but she just was like, no, I don't have time for that. And, so stories like those have stuck with me throughout my career. So that's why I'm always like, if someone reaches out to me, is like, hey, can I hop on a quick call? Yes, let's do it. What do you need? What questions do you have? So creating a space where people feel safe to go there and ask the questions. No, they won't be turned down for simply wondering, how do I take this next step? Like, who do I reach out to? Like, what do I do? And that's why, like Uma said,
if y'all,
it will be more than a podcast. And I'll end it there.
I love that. Yeah, I want all the dope things for you too. So I'm just trying to gas you up so that you start thinking about what this could be.
Oh, we've been thinking. Trust and believe.
We
may be working on something as we speak.
Ooh, a soft launch here.
Soft launch, like low key, actually. Low key. We have a community coming to you guys.
Emphasis on the T.
The T in the community. Just know it's coming. And a lot of y'all have been asking us too. That's the thing. Des, I appreciate you asking us that question because we've had so many people ask us too, like, hey, what's next? Like, is there going to be a way where we can all like come together, like different things like that? And like I said, first it was, we're going to do a podcast, like, let's just do a podcast and get it together. Like, let's just share all the questions that we get all the time. And now it's, okay, y'all have the podcast. So what's next? Like, where can we, how can we do this? How can we do that? We're like, oh, okay, let us build that, let's build that for you. So the community is coming. Soft lunch. Only Desi would get that out of us.
A lot of people
know, right? Like, for real.
It pisses me off. Like a lot of people will be like, no, man, let's focus on the present. And I'm like, look, let's just like have a real conversation. You're scared. It's okay. Like, you don't know.
Exactly.
The answer can also be like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out my shit. That's an appropriate answer.
Exactly.
So like, either one of those answers I would have taken. So I'm glad that we went there. So
yeah, thank you for asking us.
The community.
Emphasis on
Come on. Exactly. Well, Dezi, thank you so much again for joining us and also becoming a host, because by the time this episode was over, you were asking us questions. So we appreciate that. Okay. Listen.
We were ready.
It's been tea. It's been tea the whole episode, y'all. So we appreciate you, Dezi, for joining us. Y'all, this has been Hot Tea with Umo Bri, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.